This is a time for heroes, a time for legends. History is written by the victors. Let's get to work.
Me? Isn't the video playing right now?
Nope, you're up. You're live now.
Oh, I'm live? What? This stream has a lot of delay. I love that. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Call of Duty Asia League is online and with you. Welcome to the episode 2 podcast, the much talked about event that's coming up. I'm joined here with my fellow Call of Duty Asia League members. There's a few legends here sitting with me. Not sitting with me, virtually sitting with me. I'll start off with someone who was a former professional cricketer in the past life, but the Call of Duty game itself was too difficult for him to resist. We've got Ritesh from India. Good to have you here, aka Resonant. How you doing?
Thank you, Ishrak. Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. All the viewers, hello and welcome. Big thing this is, actually. I've been waiting, like, how long has it been since the first episode?
Oh, it's been way too long, dude. Way too long.
Exactly. So, yes, I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I'm glad that it finally happened. My name is Ritesh, aka Resonant TV. I'm a gamer, like everyone else. Since a while, we have been playing games. I'm 35 right now, by the way. So I really wanted to be like really good in this game. I'm decent in this game, but then these pleasures, these amazing things came too late in my life. So still, I'm gonna enjoy it to the fullest and welcome all.
Oh, thank you for the nice little, charming words. Next, we've got the stalwart of his community, the pinnacle. We've got Irtiza, aka Saleem Shady from Pakistan. How you doing, man? Good to have you.
I'm good. Thank you so much for the introduction, and I'm really, it's really an honor to be here and to support this venture. And I mean, Call of Duty has just been like something that we have been playing for a while, and it's just like a very good community builder. And I've met like a lot of nice people over at this game, and it's just been like a lifelong dream that this particular league system comes in Asia, and I'm really happy to be part of it. And thank you guys for the opportunity over here.
Oh, amazing. Good to have you here, dude. Looking forward to our conversations. All right, moving on. We've got this individual who apparently dabbled into the worlds of Dota, a bit of Counter-Strike, a bit of Battlefield, but none of that was good enough like COD. We've got Kurt, aka Luna, repping from Sri Lanka. How you doing, Kurt? Good to have you.
Thank you. Not too bad. Can't complain. Excited for the tourney up ahead next week. Excited to discuss what we have planned for everyone to hear with regard to the game as well, with the tournament. And yeah, just happy to be here. It's gonna be great,
man. Good to have you. Good to have you. Finally, this individual needs no introductions in the COD Asian circuit. He is the backbone of Call of Duty Asia League. Our dearest of dearest, Arawinda, aka Mola, also representing Sri Lanka. How you doing, man?
Hey, Shrak. Namaste, Ritesh. Assalamu alaikum, Irtiza. And Aiwan Kurt Saudara. And Kekabo Ishrak. Kikabo Ishrak.
Ki khobor.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Now, cool. I'm Ishrak, by the way, if I missed that. I'm representing Call of Duty Bangladesh, our community out there in the Southeast Asian region. Good to have you all. Really looking forward to the conversation. We do have a packed agenda today. we're really gonna dive through some of the things that are happening across the grounds, in our own communities, in our own little worlds, and sort of bring that together to the bigger picture. How do we bring those buzzing communities together to Call of Duty Asia League, and what we have in store to bring that story together and get us through that journey in the competitive landscape and also the casual landscape. But nonetheless, really excited with the conversation that's going to happen. We are also going to dabble into some of the details around the very bumper event that's coming up in next week, the 22nd of June. Very excited to talk about that as well. There's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of things to unpack as well. So there's a lot of conversations to happen, and then we'll probably wrap it up with a nice little bow to talk about what the future holds for COD Asia League and what you guys can expect to see from us in the future. But again, we'll leave that to the end. There's enough for us to go into. So going into the let's say the first session of our discussions, I'll start with the Sri Lankan boys here, who's come in as a duo to solo us. What's been happening in your communities? Just share, how things are there, how the game has been received. We are obviously in a new era of COD. It's Modern Warfare 3. You've got Warzone 2.0, which is not really 2.0. It's like 2.5, I guess. We've already moved off from Al Mazrah and the Infinity War build that was not well received. Let's not talk about it. So, really keen to know, how that has changed the landscape for you guys. Where are you guys at? What's happening? Give us the run.
Yeah, so again, I'm extremely delighted to be with good company today. I'm looking forward for a very good conversation with some nice, wonderful people. In regards to the Sri Lankan context, well, for Sri Lanka, things have been, if I may say, quite calm. However, we had a very good event recently, a local event recently called the Slam Down event, conducted by the Clans Master and Extreme. That was pretty exciting. It was hyped up. Good casting sessions as well. In fact, half of the selection from the Sri Lankan side for this particular event that we are going to discuss about came from that preliminary event, and it was a performance-based selection. And much like every other country, we are also still looking for the new game, the Black Ops 6 that's coming out soon. Yep. Perhaps everyone else in the comment section can also say something about it so we can prepare for those kind of topics as well ongoing with this session. And also, I think Kurt is also here. He's a master Car 98 player. In fact, one of the best Car 98 players I've seen so far throughout Verdansk days. And there was a recent clip as well. It was very beautiful. So I'm just gonna give him the mic here because he participated in the Slam Down event too, and he has a lot to talk about in terms of his experiences within the Sri Lankan context and the recent events that happened. So, Kurt, to you.
Yeah. Well, the tournament was done well. It was smooth. There was no hiccups there. And when it came to rules, it was a no rules or no holds bar, just everything goes. And there weren't bad situations at all, actually, thinking that, you get run down by three guys with shorties, or you know how it is when it comes to being toxic. But there was no experience at all when it came to that. So yeah, the tournament was really good. It was fun. We got to play against.
I'm surprised Sri Lankan community is so friendly. Like no holds barred and still no shorties and no toxicity.
That is so not true. That is so not true. But yeah.
But yeah, it was actually a solid event. It was a little messy when it came to playing on the European servers because the ping was
fair enough.
beyond ridiculous. But we still kept it together and didn't have to face any shorties or melee weapons or any such. So it was fun. Yeah,
that's amazing. That's good to hear. Ritesh, how are you guys doing? How's the new era of Call of Duty with Warzone and everything?
I mean, after Al Mazrah, the Modern Warfare 2, we were expecting some great things, and we actually did get some great things, like the movement, a few of the medals that we always wanted back in MW2, but it never came. And the map, the map is very, very nice. Uruzistan is one of the best maps that I've played after Verdansk. big fan of Al Mazrah. I really don't know how they did not implement that map into this game. But
I love
however,
that you picked that up. It's such a passionate topic. We'll save that for another day. But yeah, go on.
exactly, exactly. But then I've been playing the ranked, of course, the bread and butter for
Yep.
this game at the moment. If you are a competitive player and you like a
100%.
good competition, so the only sad part is that I did not like, and I'll say, like for a lot of people, that we did not want it. We did not want a rebirth, like resurgence rank mode. We did not want that, like at all.
Mm,
This
wow.
Hindustan map is good enough to handle all the players and the rank mode and everything.
Yeah.
So yes, we just wanted
I-
that map, and wow, we
Yeah.
missed out on that.
I just hope COD has something really positive in store for you guys. They did announce something, not as positive, not as immediate, but hopefully something in store for India then in the future.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And with this competition that we are going to have, and it will open a gateway for future big events. It will set a benchmark for a lot of people who are out there like, okay, Call of Duty is getting stale. We don't want to play this anymore. You'll get an incentive to
100%.
go forward and actually be more competitive, where the tournaments are going to get bigger. We have already received amazing response from all the participants. They are looking forward to this event, and it will get bigger. That's for sure. Because
That's amazing.
the roster is completely full. We'll have a full lobby. It's not like, okay, it's like a 120 player limit in a single match. We're gonna have like 80 or 60 people. No, it will be full. No extra team can get into it, so it will be completely full. So the response has been amazing. I'm really looking forward to the event.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And we'll talk about the event coming up shortly. But before that, swinging over to Pakistan, how are things on your end, Irtiza? How the new game?
Yeah, so thank you
Warzone?
once again.
Yep.
Thank you so much once again for this kind opportunity, and I'm proud to be representing Pakistan over here. Pakistan community has been going through lots of ups and downs, but lately it's on the ups. My boys, I want to give a shout out to Crims, Paxor, Covert, and these guys are really performing really well, doing hardcore ranked. And I like such an amazing, like, these guys have come a long way, and really proud to see them represent at a grander stage. And things have, I think, now have been going up for the community. Of course, there were like a few problems where cheaters and stream snipers were like really a
Yeah,
big
for sure.
problem, but I think we have cleansed them off. But so far, it's just going good, and I'm really proud to see all these boys really putting their A game towards this game, and like it's just lovely to see all of them coming together and doing well.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And and look, I think you guys have pretty much summed it up quite well. I mean, from our end in Bangladesh, we had a very stale period, particularly in, let's say, Warzone 2.0 as it introduced with the limited movement, the gameplay, and everything. But then the scene's been very much highly buzzing over the last 6-7 months. We've had about 7 to 8 tournaments already, different organizations coming together, different people from different parts of the community coming together, running their own tournaments, organized. It's citizen led, which is amazing. We've never had that much energy before. There's been usually big, like certain, let's say, relevant or already seen tournament organizers doing a lot of tournaments, but now we're seeing a lot of citizen led, community driven tournaments, and that's amazing to see. We've recently also started a few auction tournaments, and we've had that on the multiplayer side a lot of. And the auction tournaments just sort of virtual money, but then player pool, everyone gets to get in, there's captains, there's a whole auction around the players. That just shows how close knit the community is, but then also how creative they can be. We've now brought it to the Warzone side, which is going to be interesting. I'm still curious to see how that plays out, because people tend to want to play in teams rather than playing with unfamiliar people. So that'll be interesting to see. But the scene's back to being all buttery and happy and joyful with this new game. And I'm thinking with Black Ops 6 coming in, as you mentioned, Ritesh, I think it's going to introduce a whole new level of buzz. There's so much coming in. So I think we've primed the game has primed our communities in a position where it just, like, the whole narrative around Call of Duty Asia League and coming back to support this energy, support this journey made a lot more sense. And I think to that point, Mola just came up and just pulled us back in together. It's like, hey boys, where are you? Like, we need to start this again, and really pushed us in. And now we're in this crossroads where we really present the South Asian Challenge, June 2024, 22nd. I think it's a Saturday. Is it a Friday?
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's a
guys.
Saturday.
Like, different time zones.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's something that's always gonna get to me. But it's a Saturday. Mola has confirmed. He's the legend here. But I will also say, this podcast, this tournament, none of that would be possible if not for Mola's efforts, but also our prize sponsors, Roger and Reckon, who have, provided some real good surprises for us. We'll leave that for Mola to establish and explore for us. But at the same time, really happy to introduce, for anyone that is not aware, it's a COD Asia League event, and I will let Mola talk about this whole piece. Mola, take it away for us.
Yeah, so guys, the main event, Battle of Nations South Asian Challenge, will happen on 22nd June, that is a Saturday, at 7:30 p.m. India Sri Lankan time, that is 8 p.m. Bangladesh time, and 7 p.m. Pakistan time. So for the last season, we got like 3 countries, mainly Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and a few teams from India. But this time we wanted to bring Pakistan too, a major player in the Call of Duty scene, as you guys know. And so this time, the participating countries are India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. So 4 countries. Since we can allocate 40 teams total, the game will be played under World Series of Warzone Trials format, that is the playlist. And we can allocate 40 teams total under that format. So we decided to segregate 10 teams each for each country to make it fair and make it equitable. So it will be all about 4 countries battling to showcase themselves as the top teams of the South Asian region, under fair, equal conditions for everyone. Note that each country has their own registration process, so I'm not going to touch on that. But we emphasize, if you have not registered, if you want to register, if there are team slots available, I'm not sure. I think some countries, India is almost done, right, Ritesh?
It's complete. It's full.
Yeah, it's full. And I believe Pakistan and Bangladesh has some slots remaining.
Yeah,
right?
Calling out my folks in Bangladesh, guys.
Yeah.
Really register soon, because you're losing spots if you're not.
Yeah, and
and the same shout out from my side. People who are watching from Pakistan, come on, you guys need to compete. You guys need to show what you're made of. So yeah, shout out to that. Yeah.
I think from Pakistan also, as I heard, there's only one last slot remaining. So it's good. And again, talking about the event, it's going to be played under World Series of Warzone Trials playlist. So the game is automatically configured with certain prefix settings. So we don't have to worry about certain rules and all. We'll be discussing about rules in details too, following this podcast, this reveal event. And that will be mostly carried by everyone over here in a mutual manner. So just to let you guys know, everyone here are within the representative segment who have the power to contribute, and we do not come to single decisions. Every rule, the custom rule that we've come up with, and every decision that we've taken, it's done under a vote, a fair vote taken from each country representative. So it's not like, one country has more say or anything. It's not partial, it's not biased, it's fair for all countries, right? And again, in terms of the event, best of 5 matches will be played. The first match will be played in the Asian server, the second match will be played in the Middle Eastern server, the third match again will be played in Asian server, the fourth match again the Middle Eastern server, and the last match, the 5th match, will be played in the Asian server. So 3 Asian server matches and 2 Middle Eastern server matches. The reason why we brought the Middle Eastern segment was because most of the Pakistani players, they rerouted to, I think, the Middle Eastern segment more than their alignment towards the Asian side, the Asian servers. So that also came up with a vote, just so that you guys know, not a single single decision made by one party or anything. It all came up from a vote from all the countries. And also one important thing, we endorse streaming. So all the players who are participating, you guys must either stream, or it's a must that you record the gameplay for integrity reasons, like to maybe to avoid unpleasant circumstances, like repercussions or consequences that are down the line. So just make sure to stream, or at least this goes to all the players, at least record the entire gameplay with your team voice. So I'm gonna go through the point system now. The point system, like I said earlier, it's gonna follow the World Series of Warzone point system, but we made some minor changes because it's a trial setting. We got 40 teams. So one elimination gives you 1 point, and the first place will give you a multiplier of two-time multiplier for that kills that you've attained. The second and the fifth position will give you 1.8 times multiplier. The 6th and the 10th position will give you a 1.6 multiplier for the kills that you've allocated. Again, the 11th and the 20th position will give you a 1.4 time multiplier for the total kills that your team has allocated. And the 21st and the 30th position will give you 1.2 times, and the rest of the positions will give you just a 1x. It's basically nothing. You only get points for your kills from 31st position to the 40th position. In terms of talking about the sponsors, we've got sponsorship from Antec, from Ant Esports, from KBC, from Roger and Recon, and from Dawa, and of course MSI. Again, I believe that covers the major proportion of what needs to be covered. We'll be talking about certain restricted items, rules, configurations right now during this podcast session. I think Ishrak, you can take the lead now.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned about the live streaming and the video submissions thing. And this always gripes most people, because some people have hardware restrictions and limitations that sort of provide certain challenges in facilitating streaming whilst playing this game, which is quite PC intensive. That being said, often there's a negative connotation around this, and I don't know if you guys agree on this, but everyone feels like we're asking them to do it because we think they're hacking. But usually it's more to protect their participation. It's more to protect anything that has happened to them that's unfavorable, and to rather them have some form of evidence to support that, and then for us to make the best, most favored judgment that allows the best outcome for everyone involved, right? And people often lose sight of that and just think about, this is a accusation thing and this is because of someone's hacking. But it's often the other that I feel as an organizer has helped me run tournaments more smoothly. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that's been the case, and that's been my experience.
Yeah, for sure. I think in the past, when we hosted tournaments, we also had this thing where we just introduced this streaming session where we wanted to record everything that goes in the game. So we kind of eliminated a lot of acquisitions, and there was the smooth tournament series that went around, and they were less reported sessions of people actually cheating or trying to accuse people of cheating. So it really also gives us this opportunity to record really some great insane gameplay. So exactly. This is really good, and
we're all in it for the VODs and the clips.
For sure.
Some juicy clips.
That's it. And look,
I do agree.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I do.
No, you go.
Yeah. So I do agree with the whole point of having live stream and record everything. I understand that it is kind of, to be honest, it's kind of a very sad state in which the game is at the moment, because every time we enter a lobby, there's very high chance that we're gonna run into one or two hackers every single game. I mean, this has been happening since like Modern Warfare 2 days. Forget Verdansk. Verdansk hackers were like, okay, I'm insane. I'm gonna hold the car 98 with no scope, and I'm gonna destroy the entire lobby.
So
We knew what's gonna happen, but right now the scene is like very delicate at the moment. That's why, for all the viewers, and all the participants especially, please make sure that if you're not streaming, just record it, just for your own safety. Just record it. If you can live stream, then live stream it, screen share it, just do it. Don't give an excuse to anybody else, because I know all the teams who will be participating in this event are insane. They're gonna pull off some insane shots. One sniper, by the way, right? We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
One sniper per team. Yeah, and the Car 98, I know some insane players. Like Arvind said, Kurd is one hell of a Car 98 player, isn't it?
Yeah,
So if he kills someone, definitely. And the guy who got killed, he'll be like, oh, wait, that's sus. So we want to avoid that. That's why I record everything. Just don't give a chance to anybody else. All right. And this is an exhibition event. If by any chance one or more than one are like trying to be smart, don't do it. Not worth it. All right.
Oh yeah, just to emphasize on that, if there is someone, know that your country's name would be at stake here, right? If
Yeah,
given
100%.
given that
Fucking Mola with the wise words.
yeah, if your country's name at stake, so just yeah.
And Ritesh, you raise a very good point around the snipers, right? And we've talked about this as a committee, organizing the rule sets and stuff, and how the tournament lobby with the 120 players that be in there, this is going to be some of the highest skilled players in the Asian region across these 4 countries, and to have some of these best players run snipers. Like, I don't know about you, but like, even if I was the greatest of the greatest player, like, it would be a very poor experience. And it's going through its sort of wars in the global level. And personally, like, I lost this out to the vote, and I'm happy. That's okay. But I would have wanted to see no snipers. But I think we've gone to this sort of middle ground where, you know, teams can have one sniper.
Yeah.
And it is a trios format, so, you know, per team there are 3 players. So in any given team, you're allowed to have one sniper, and everyone else has to be flexing with an AR, SMG, standard, basic.
Yeah.
If you are found to have multiple snipers in the team, be it by the use of ground loot or whatnot, there is the whole gentleman's agreement clause, which means that, you know, it's okay if it was like a life or death situation. You dropped in from Gulag, or you've got no guns with you, you just had that, and you just had to run it until you found another gun or something like that. You're allowed for that brief period of time. But if you run that and you abuse that, and you continue to have more than one sniper in the team throughout the course of the game or the course of the entire 5-match series, you know, that's ignoring the rule set. And from a gentleman's agreement perspective, to what Mola said, right? You're representing your country, not just your team. So if you're not honoring certain agreements that are made and agreed upon, you know, it brings a level of name and shaming onto you, and I don't know if you can afford that. Plus, there are point penalties as well. The other thing is there's going to be 2. There is the gentleman's agreement, which is, you know, certain things such as this, which is a gray area around certain aspects that really we didn't want to limit so far into the right wing that players felt like they were mostly at a disadvantage in most situations. And so this gentleman agreement allows a bit more flexibility rather than the abuse side of it. But then there are absolute restricted items, things that are absolutely a no-go. Like you cannot use them regardless of what the situation of the game is, what the problem is. Doesn't matter. You cannot use them. They're just an absolute no-go. To the extent that some of these things might also already be filtered off by the fact that we're using the World Series Awards list. That being said, if your team was found to be using some of these items, and the rule sets will explore that, and rule sets we offer to you will show that, you would see like penalties placed on your team or yourself for running those things. Now, I want to check with the group, right? Now, C4s. Now, we've talked about it a lot, right? Now, where do you guys see C4s? I know we've already got a discussion on it, but I do want to have a conversation. Because everyone's running C4s. If you look at the World Series of Warzone, $1 million, people are running C4s. Now, there's been talk about, trying to get it off the playlist. But anyways, I want to hear you guys, argue about it for a bit.
Broken, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I was watching the World Series of Warzone, even playing pubs. People are not shooting first; they're throwing C4 first, and then they got to shoot.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a meta right now. You don't need guns. Just bring a riot shield and turn fire, and then throw C4s. Nobody can do anything about it. For example, a team is sitting inside a room, just throw 2 C4s and complete team wipe. They don't stand a chance. You don't even see that coming. You won't even like someone throws a C4 at you. You won't even know it's like right beside you unless you like get damage from it. So it's like
You know, interesting. Like the C4 has come back into relevance.
Yeah.
But we forget that it was the most the greatest choice of lethals back in Verdansk.
Yeah.
Like when Verdansk first came out, everyone was just freaking tossing C4s day in, day out.
Grab a Bertha, you bring a C4.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh god.
But in terms of discussing the C4, you could say the same about the termite as well. Because if it sticks you're done.
Yeah, true, very true.
With
But
the
they did
C4,
make
you're
changes to
broken.
it.
You can maybe smoke and try to get out. But a termite, that's on you like a mosquito. That doesn't get off.
Mosquito.
That's true, but then the Activision did nerf it. So you're not even if you get stuck by a thermite, you are not gonna go down. Even if you go down, you're not gonna get finished. All right. So
it still works the same way.
No. A few weeks ago, if you stick one to anybody, they're gonna get down and they're gonna get finished. There's no chance.
You
they're gonna
sure?
recover from
Yeah.
I just freaking
Absolutely.
like 2 hours back, I just got destroyed with a thermite like that. But
Oh, no.
No. If you're completely played it up, you get stuck by a thermite, you will go down probably, but you will not get finished. That's what the patch note said. So they
dude, like Call of Duty's patch notes, like you take it with a grain of salt,
I mean,
it works for someone, it doesn't work for the other.
And I'm speaking with experience. It happened like earlier today. I stuck one guy with a thermite. I thought I finished him. He caught up and they killed me.
Oh no way! That's unfortunate.
So,
It's when you don't want it to work, it works. But no, that's interesting. Like we're living in a world in Urzikstan, obviously, not in reality, where thermites are less worrying than C4s, and that's crazy. That worries me, right? I'm keen to know what our views are on this. Where did we land? I know the answer, and I think we all know the answer. I don't think the people that are with us here, on the 28 people that are with us here, and anywhere else, I don't think they know the answer yet. So I do wanna get your views on where we landed with C4, because this is gonna deviate from what's happening in the world. So I really want to know.
Yeah, so I also observed some C4 gameplay, especially with the local tournament that happened. And I also kind of believe that it's a little bit OP in terms of, clearing out certain places. I think,
for sure.
In my personal opinion, I think it should be taken away. And
Yep.
yeah.
Damn. Anyone else? Any thoughts? I think we as a collective group voted on it, and I think we agreed to ban the C4s.
Yeah.
Just freaking put that in the restricted list.
Yeah.
Don't see them. Friggin' Mahad Riaz just commented, ban C4s. We agree. We agree with you, brother.
We did.
By the way, we're looking at the chat, and thanks for all the kind words. Thanks for all the sweet words, guys, and thanks for all the representatives. Thanks for all the energy. We do have a packed agenda of things to talk about, so hope you're engaging with that. And yes, we did ban C4, so hopefully the community wins on that.
Definitely.
I think that was a very good outcome. I think the way the tournament that we've been seeing at the global with the World Series, and I say global, but like World Series of Warzone is shaping out, and how the C4 was being used. If you've got 40 teams in one lobby that are all highly skilled, it's so hard. It's so hard to think that thing will not be abused. Everyone will know how to use it to the best of its abilities. There won't be one odd player, right? There are some calls for banning the thermites as well.
I think termites are fine because
you know what?
You
Ban
actually
them.
have to
Ban them. Anything incendiary, ban them.
Termites.
We'll have to go for another vote for that one.
We'll have to go for another one, and I'm saying ban.
The difference
we should just go back to
C4.
Semtex. Yeah, go ahead, Ritesh.
Yeah. So the difference between C4 and a thermite is that with C4 you just toss it. You don't have to even have a look at the opponent. You just toss it, even from behind the cover. For a thermite to work properly, you actually have to aim and throw like a throwing knife. If you get it stuck to someone, then okay, it's very it's skill based. But C4, you just lie behind a rock and then keep throwing the C4. You have a backpack full of C4s. You don't need even ammos. Just abuse C4. You're gonna wipe out the entire lobby with it.
You know what's interesting? A lot of people don't know this, but you can change how the C4 functions from the menu. So there's like this functionality around, do you detonate both of them at the same time, or do you detonate one by one? And people don't know this functionality. So there's like this delay once you've tossed two C4s. There's like this massive delay between you detonating it and when you tossed it. And it's that functionality that people are not aware. Anyways, I'm giving too many tips. But anyway, that doesn't matter because we banned the C4, so that's not a problem for us. But the things to know, guys, as from our discussion, at least so far, C4s are banned. You cannot use them. If you do use them, you're going to see a level of penalties that are upon your team and a level of name and shame that you will not be able to remove ever, or for at least a long time. But the penalties and the threat of disqualification is too far high and too far looming for you to avoid. From a gentleman's agreement perspective, as a collective group, we've agreed that teams are allowed one sniper per team. However, it's a gentleman's agreement, unlike the C4. Because it's a gentleman's agreement, you are allowed to pick up a sniper if that's the only option you had, because you had no other guns with you, or all your guns are out of, and you had to run something, and you found something on the floor, and that's the only thing you found. Until you find your next gun, you are allowed to run that just for that particular time frame. You can't abuse it, obviously, and that's why it's a gentleman's agreement. So as a collective group, we'll still be observing that as a GA break, and that might have its delineation around how that gets enforced in terms of penalties, in terms of who got impacted by that. But we will be watching with a close eye as well. So, gentleman's agreement, I would say personally, very, 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 very much important as observing the restricted items on the rule set. But it comes with its caveats to what extent you can flex with them in certain situations. Are there any other controversial items that we've banned or we've thought about in the rule set, guys?
I think we've talked about shotguns, right?
Oh man, shotguns, take them out. Well, why is it in the game? Friggin' call out Activision, it shouldn't be in there.
Oh look,
riot shields, shotguns, launchers.
CRNC is in the chat, by the way. He's also watching us right now.
Oh really?
Yeah. So yeah, we're talking about shotguns now. One of the points he also brought up.
Yeah. So I think with the shotguns, my view was freaking ban them. That's the worst thing that Call of Duty has in the game. Or, well, Riot Shield is probably above that, but it's one of the second worst things in the game. So completely restrict them. But I think as a collective group, we are very diplomatic. We do try to work on the sentiments of our communities. So I think the general view was that we had accepted that shotguns can be allowed to the extent of a gentleman's agreement. And I think that was on the basis that, if you landed and you couldn't find any gun except a shotgun on the floor and you had nothing else better, you could pick up the shotgun and you run that. Now, it is a gentleman's agreement, right? That you won't run the shotgun. So my view is usually when you come back from Gulag, you have good guns. Like very rarely would you have shit guns. Like you have an AR, you have like a SMG. Imagine a person drops, right? And he doesn't like the SMG because it veers too far to the right and his recoil control is not great. Very unlikely amongst the 40 players that we're going to have in the... But he sees an opportunity. He sees a shotgun on the floor. Mola is pushing him and he's too worried. He picks up that shotgun for a close range CQC quick kill. Is that fair under the gentleman's agreement? Putting that question out to you guys.
I think
given that if he wasn't having it as a loadout, or given the situation, depends. If he doesn't have pretty much anything to help himself, I think it's fair play for him to pick up a shotgun and defend himself. But running it throughout or bringing it out in a loadout or something like that, I don't see that being fair at all. Because
but don't you but don't you think he's abusing it by knowing that someone's pushing him and he has an AR, and it's very unlikely that the game will drop you with just a pistol, except at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Most of the times when you come back from Gulag or in other situations, you generally have like an SMG or an AR that you come with.
But you do come back with a shotgun as well sometimes as a secondary.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you do. You actually do. So I think only in that instance, I feel personally is okay.
Acceptable.
But if you've got an AR and an SMG and you drop it and you pick up a shotgun because someone's pushing you from the corridor and you know that the shotgun will be an easy elimination for you, is that right under the gentleman's agreement, or is that an abuse?
No, that's abuse. Without a doubt.
That could be an abuse. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, right? And so for the viewers, you just remember you can't be sly about these things. We're gonna be watching, right? And we've thought about all these things when we've put stuff in GA. We put stuff in the restricted items, because stuff like this will happen, and people will be at the crossroads of, choosing to be the right person or choosing to be that person. You know what I mean? And so we'll be watching and we'll be observing those. I think as a collective group, we've agreed that don't be that person. Like, don't use the shotgun to abuse what it offers the game, which is, CQC advantage, close range gunfight.
That's why
Atha, I think I agree. Like, sorry, I'm just engaging with chat. My bad. Atha, I think I agree. We've got 40 teams and some of the best players in the Asian League. I don't think they need a shotgun to win a gunfight. I don't think none of them need that. So I think we're on safe hands to know that people won't abuse that. Tonfa users will get hardware banned. Thoughts on that, guys? Someone say...
We're gonna come to your house and they're gonna take your PC away.
Oh god!
If someone is found with a tonfa running around the map.
Some people have actually said better ban than gentleman's agreement. That's not a bad shout, and I said quite proudly that ban them. I hate them, but I think there's some situational instances. Well, there's some situations where players would probably have to resort to that, like we just talked about, where you drop with shotgun as a secondary, and let's say your mid gunfight, your AR goes out of ammo. You don't even know you have a shotgun. You swap quickly to the secondary, and it's a shotgun. I think those instances are fine because you just dropped. You haven't had the chance to loot. You've got into a gunfight straight away. You didn't know you had a shotgun. Even if you did, this situation limits you to not be able to apply anything else. I think those are the situations we've allowed for certain items like that to be used. and that still is within the gentleman's agreement. But if you were to abuse it like a sly little person, we'd know. We'd be coming for you. So just know you're not safe.
And that is why you're asked to like record or stream the set.
Yeah.
If you get killed with one of those shotguns from the ground loot and all that, send it to us.
100%. And launchers, riot shields, there's no space for that stuff, guys. Like, just don't even think about it. Like, don't even think about taking that riot shield, going up to the middle of the building and just, holding corners. And yeah, riot shields are out. I don't know if anyone in our communities, I'm not going to speak for you guys, but like, we don't have any passionate riot shield. I don't know about you guys. I hope it's the same case. And so we don't have to worry about that. I hope. But the riot shields are completely banned, restricted. So are launchers. We won't be seeing any of that. Now, here's an interesting one. Not an interesting one. It's probably relatively straightforward, to be honest. But I'll give my 2 cents on it, right? So, helis, right? Now, when you've got a very highly skilled group of players in a lobby, helis end up becoming a very powerful mechanic. What's the thoughts on that, guys? And that's probably the one out of the box question I'll have for you guys.
It's not that broken.
It's not broken, for sure. It's not broken.
Like in Verdant, it used to be broken. Like
oh
it
yeah,
just
that
doesn't get
maneuvering
destroyed.
with that was very easy. Yeah.
Right now, the amount of skills that all these players will have, if you're sitting in a chopper, you're a sitting duck. That's for sure. You won't get a chance. The way people beam and the car 90 are in one of the team members' hand, then okay, you better have a chopper. Easy points. Easy points.
Easy kills. No, and you're actually right. Like, I think helis, in terms of maneuver, any vehicle in general, is far harder in this game than it is in the other ones.
I have one question for all of you though.
Yeah, go for it. And I want Luna and Irtiza to answer this time. Some people in the chat have had some real demand for you guys to speak. You guys are far more popular than us.
Yeah.
We have seen this before. We have experienced this before. This method of winning matches, and that is the LTV abuse. So by the end of the game, in a competitive scene, like I've seen like the abuse of having LTV at the end game. Oh my god. And through smoke, you don't even see it coming. How many times do you see your mini-map when you're in between smoke trying to play it up and then a car runs over you? Just like that. And it's all over. What do you guys have to say about this?
It's as good as we're talking about the Bertha from Verdansk. I mean, it is abused, especially in solos. There is no getting away from it. And but in terms, it's hard to think that the competitive players that would be taking part in the tournament would be actually abusing something like this. But being that it takes less skilled players to use something like that and go against its competition, but being that everyone's high skilled players, I doubt that they would resort to something like that. But you never know. I can't speak for everyone, but yeah, it's not a good time when you see that coming up, and if you have a guy with C4s chucking them out like he's chucking out free drinks or something, it's a bad time. Yeah, without a doubt.
Irtiza, your thoughts?
Yeah, and I completely agree because sometimes people really abuse the whole game mechanic around that part in their advantage. But I still believe that the people who are playing this tournament, I don't think they're probably gonna abuse it that much. Maybe they can use it for some strategic advantage and maneuver around the map. But I don't think it's just not going to be a problem in that sense. But yeah, I really also think that these players are mature enough to really see where the game is going.
I love how Irtiza and Ata are so in sync, because as you were saying it, Ata literally wrote, "It's a strategic play to get LTV if zone is in the open." Oh, you guys must be talking to each other on the other side.
But if I see one, trust me, if I see one, I'm gonna we literally throw 10 or 20 of drill charges on those LTVs.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let it go away. Yeah.
Ankur Mondal, heavy chopper equals God mode activated, 100%, dude. But I think we're using the Warzone playlist, and I don't think the heavy chopper is enabled in that playlist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're good for that. It is restricted. You cannot use it just in case that COD decides, oh, let's break the World Series on World Series or Warzone playlist for just the 20 seconds, so it messes up COD Asia League's event. Just know that even if you see it in the map, don't use it, don't touch it, because you're gonna get banned if you do. I think we've covered 6 games instead of 5. Good question. I think we've agreed on 5 games rather than 6. And I think overall there's been a good backing on going for the 5 games. And anyone else have anything to add to that? Ata, LTV is not banned. LTV is allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LTV is allowed.
LTV is
Ata's getting worried, guys. LTV is
No, no.
allowed. Ritesh was just trying to get some discussion around it
Yeah, that's it.
and get our thoughts. But yeah, look, I think the most important thing that we want to draw on from the conversation is that there are a lot of restricted items and a lot of things that are gentlemen's agreement, things for the players to consider, on top of the fact that there are bylaws and specific rule sets that are available and will be available post this stream and before the tournament for you guys to be prepared of, be aware of, and apply as you play the game and the event. It is very important that those rules get observed. As Mola mentioned quite strategically, your country's reputation sits at the top. Then obviously the protection of your participation, so penalties, disqualifications, and all those things that can happen if you are to have been noted to have offended any of those rule sets. So applying the rule sets is going to be very important. Understanding the finer details around gentlemen restricted items will be of topmost priority. So once the rule sets do get circulated, I urge all participating players and our community reps to really drive that from making sure that it's visible and applied by everyone. There are rule sets around jailbreak. There are rule sets around gulag tokens. World Series of Warzone has a lot of these things disabled, so you won't be seeing any of that, but they will still be in the we shouldn't be seeing any jailbreaks in the world playlist. You only get a dedicated fire sale around 3rd circle, I believe. But again, there are rule sets to guide you on that. We will publish that post this podcast. And once we do, any questions, reach out to your community representatives. They'd be more than happy to answer them. At the same time, Call of Duty Asia League page is also open ears, open eyes, open for talking. So, reach out, ask us any questions you want. We'd be happy to answer. That being said, the most important thing about the tournament, what are the people getting? What's the value proposition here, Mo? What are they getting? Are they just like, oh, we win, great, go? Or is there some other excitement in store for us? Take that away so that we can move into the final section of our podcast.
So yeah, if you talk about it, this event is not going to be our last event. We are going to carry forward, and we will be having other future events. And this will be a chance for everyone to showcase and come to a high caliber area, like a highlighted place that we can filter and invite systems for future events established, and lots of other things actually. Ritesh might be able to enlighten us in regards to this more than anyone. Ritesh?
All right. Like I said earlier, this will be the benchmark for the future. So kind of response we have received so far has been amazing, and I'm still getting questions whether we can participate, can we register our teams or not. For the time being, they're all in standbys. However, the response has been amazing, and this will definitely set a benchmark for future tournaments, because this will only get bigger and better. We have been talking to a lot of sponsors as well, and they're willing to join us and help us grow this thing that we are bunch of people who have started this. The 4 nation combat system is like amazing. I mean, and it's long overdue. Like we have been waiting for something that unites us and then pushes us forward towards a future where we can have a healthy competitive environment. We don't have to like meet in public matches. We can just like the teams that will be participating, they can contact each other. We can have scrims and everything. A lot of doorways will open
Yeah,
because
and
of this.
like Ritesh mentioned, this gives the cricket vibe, right? The cricket competitiveness brought forward to the COD scene right now. I mean, all of us, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, we are cricket fans too. We have that like underlying urge to always like compete with each other in that nature. So I guess this will be
In the Asia Cup now.
yeah. This we are bringing that like sensation to the Call of Duty segment right now. And I have another interesting like one last question. Other than your own country, oh wait, that's going to be controversial. I'm not going to bring it forward. But but yeah.
Go off.
Ishrak,
Yep, go ahead.
yeah. I'm gonna give you the floor right now again. So yeah.
Yep. Atta, all good suggestions. Look, what we've agreed as a group and a collective group is that there is going to be a comprehensive set of rules that every team and player must read and must be aware of, because it is a professional tournament. And in the professional landscape, you have to agree to all the rule sets and have to read them in one central place. Where necessary, we will make some very important callouts and have them accessible easily and conveniently for all players and people to understand and observe. But the rule sets that we publish, it will be one comprehensive set of rule sets. And there will be some formalities around making sure that those are read and approved and observed and understood across the community representatives and then also the participating players. It's a very standard procedure across Call of Duty competitive landscape globally, and we will be observing that as well to maintain consistency. But at the same time, we get we get the feedback and the comment that there's an opportunity for us to provide some levels of ease of accessibility and convenience around some of the key things from the rule set that would be really good to have handy whenever necessary. So we'll explore that and we'll bring that forward for you guys to read through. But in terms of tournament prizes, look, we'll keep that as a surprise for announcement. But there are 3 very valuable, very, very exciting prizes available in the tournament prize pool. And we will leave that for your surprises to feast on once we announce them. But just note that there are, as Ritesh mentioned, there are sponsors and people really supporting this venture that we're on. And there's a very positive journey looking forward into the future. Which brings us to the final piece, Call of Duty Asia League. Where does it go from here? We've got the first event. What are our future plans? Where do we see ourselves playing in? And where do we go? And how do we make sure that we are achieving the things that we want to see being achieved, but at the same time achieving things that the community wants us to achieve as well, because that's at the end of the day, this is all about community, like we all talked about. So that's equally important. So we're not going to spend too much time about it because it is too far complex and it's quite underpinned by how Call of Duty thinks on a creative landscape basis. If you think about last year and how the game went, that can always determine what Call of Duty Asia League has to do. But nonetheless, I'm keen to understand at a very high level, where do we see the future of Call of Duty as a collective group? And I'll take answers from everyone. Irtiza, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so even in the past, Call of Duty has come a long way and has developed all these beautiful communities all around the world. From my perspective, definitely the games also make sure that how the communities run. As you have seen, in the past, the games also muted a bunch of communities. But I feel that there is some exciting things coming along the way. And how the rank system and everything has really motivated players to really compete with top streamers and all the top players in the world. So I feel this is like the way where we're just going above and beyond, nothing less. And I feel no short about that. And I'm pretty excited to see like how everybody all around the world is coming across, and especially in this part of the region, not much opportunities were available, but like I believe that from this point onwards, it's just above and beyond, and it's just going to be something really exciting for the players and for everybody to really look forward to.
Love that, buddy. Love that from you. Ritesh, since you're next on the
I
screen, what do you think? What's in store for the future for COD Asia League? What do you see us achieving?
So I completely agree with Irtiza. He made some really good points. And to be honest, Call of Duty in our region, South Asia, it's like we have one competitive mode that is ranked. It's in multiplayer and it's in Warzone. But the problem is in multiplayer, it is plagued by hackers. In Warzone, it is plagued by hackers, but we get hyping as well. Most of the time, when you reach a higher lobby, when you reach a higher rank, you get matched up in European lobby. That's the closest one to us. So 150, 160 ping, and those European people, they're like, oh, I have like 5 ping. How did he shit on me? Oh, it's like that. So this Call of Duty Asia League, it's going to give an incentive to all those competitive players who actually wants to win something. Like, for example, you are a very good Call of Duty player. You get a platform. This is a platform that you'll get. You will actually win something, not just a logo or an emblem or a calling card or a camo. You'll actually physically win something. If you do well in it, you have an incentive. So this is going to give a lot of motivation to so many players who are just like, okay, who are on the verge of giving up on the game. This is a roadway to something great. So I'm really looking forward to the event and the events that are going to follow after this one.
Yeah, love that from you. Good energy in that answer.
Yeah, just to add one thing, I just wanted to add, but I also love the fact that how this region is going to get a lot of encouragement in terms of participating, which I feel have lacked all over the years. And I still think, we're all uniting these countries together. And this is one of the best things that I really love about this, and like really love this initiative where all these countries are coming along and spreading the message of love.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's a very, very, very nicely put sentiment. 100%. I totally agree. Kurt.
Yeah.
The second most quietest person in this podcast.
No, the fact that he actually said that all the different countries coming together, the fact that the community itself, the Call of Duty community itself, the representatives that we have from each community has actually done this and come together, and this is not something small. I mean, in the future with the new title coming out and Omni movement and all of that, you could also look for something in multiplayer with Black Ops 6 around the corner. I mean,
this guy's cooking. I love it. This guy's cooking something. No, I love it. Yeah.
There's no dead end to anything that when it comes to possibilities, especially with four nations. I mean, come on, what else do we need? The community is that good for us to just come together, have an understanding, get along with everything when it comes to rules, what we hate, what we don't like. Makes it so much more easier than the fact that we're working like tie and rubber. It's beautiful.
Oh, amazing! This guy.
So Ishrak, just to add on that, the most silent person said something like really good, right? Or the best thing.
Yeah, I know, right? Like this guy's all about quality, right? Like he he'll just clutch it for the end. You know what I mean? He's all about the end game.
man of few words, but the quality ones.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I'm sure you have a lot to feed in as well, man. You're one of the pioneers from Sri Lanka when it comes to COD. From the dance, you guys led the way for custom lobbies and all of that. As soon as custom lobbies was launched, the boys from Lanka, they all got together and they used to have custom lobbies every Saturday. They brought out the competitive nature. People were not very happy with the R4 shotgun. I'm not sure if you guys remember that, but do give us your feedback, man, with the future of Call of Duty Asia League.
Oh yeah, so to add on to the point that you mentioned, I'm sure we can do some exclusive events, but rare events to make it actually work two ways of making it exclusive. because there should be some value for what we do, right? And also, we need to acknowledge that each country has their own like tournaments, local tournaments happening within their region that needs to be prioritized accordingly. Because if we also do so many events parallelly, I don't think things would work out well for any of us in the long run. So, by the way, thank you for the kind words, Kurt, and also Ishrak. Yeah, so everyone's ideology here would be to somehow make sure that we sustain this and like make sure that we have the longevity is ensured, like we have a long run and some proper set objectives to be achieved in a friendly, new, like cohesive manner, collaborative manner. So this initiation, I believe, would hold well in that regard, and I think we should be able to like do exceptional things in the future, especially to add on to Kurt's point. Black Ops 6 is coming out. We should be able to do, I think, one thing. Ishrak, I think you also wanted to do a multiplayer event, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So I think obviously Call of Duty is a two version game now. There's one which is the Warzone, which is huge, but then there's the CDL outfit, which is the multiplayer outfit, which is huge as well. And our community is very big on the multiplayer side and also the Warzone side. There's a huge player pool between the two. Some cross-pollinate as well. So look, I think with the Black Ops 6 reveal trailer just this week earlier, there's been a lot of positive buzz around what the future of the multiplayer side of things hold, and Treyarch usually hits the nail pretty well when it comes to multiplayer, and it sits well and quite positively with the CDL side of things. So there's a lot of stuff that by virtue of the game being good will flow onto our Asian community and how we can bring the community to on that journey to being stronger, better, and more together. Khan Shahrukh, totally agree that the most important thing is to show respect and also have no place for toxicity. I mean, the way we manage this collective group of people that represent each country, there's very minimal of that. Mola is a very straight shooter. He keeps us in line always. I'm pretty sure. But and look, I think I think generally it's always been a positive experience working with these communities and doing all these events. So we're expecting nothing short of that. If anything, just to improve on that and just get ourselves stronger in that pursuit. And Atta has raised a very, very, very good question, which takes us to the Q&A session. I don't think there's much in the Q&A session. I think this is the most important question to ask. So who is winning? Who's winning this event that's coming up next Saturday? Who do we have our bets on? I'm not participating. I'm not playing, so I can make my bets. I can make my guesses.
Well, who is it then?
Oh, you guys start.
I'm gonna bet on my team. So Crims, Foxor, hands down. Like my bets are on placing that team.
I mean, like last season, our team won, right? And I think I was playing over there. I won 2 games out of like 4 games total played. But luckily for you guys right now, I'm retired, so there's a chance for everyone to like.
This guy.
I like it.
This guy. So diplomatic. Wow. I love that.
Mola pulling out Chuck Norris on us.
Chuck Norris.
Well,
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, go ahead, Ritesh.
From India, I will be playing the tournament. So watch out. One more request though. If the in-game chats are enabled, like during the match, so there are 2 players. I want them to have a go at each other, and please ignore the chat. Let them have a go at each other. Trust me, it will be entertainment for free during the match. Let them have a go. If they're watching the stream, they know. And one of them is my teammate. One of them is my teammate.
We definitely love to see some good prox chat banter and also some in-game chat banter. Love to. So look,
Absolutely.
all in all, very, very excited for the event that's coming up in a week. Time flies quite fast. So everyone, just another solid reminder. Make sure if you haven't registered yet, make sure you do so. Spread the word. Make sure everyone's considered registration. To our community reps that are here and also working in the back end, get those registrations through. I'm speaking for myself here. We do have a few more spots to fill up in the Bangladeshi region. Get that done as well. We will be making a few very important and significant announcements leading up to the event. Make sure your eyes and notifications are on for the Call of Duty Asia League page so you are first on site when those announcements go out, be it anything related to the tournament, the rule sets, or anything else. There's a lot stored in those posts from now until the event time and also post event time potentially. That being said, I think we're at end, guys. It was a fantastic session. Loved talking with all of you and loved reconnecting after a while. It's been a while since episode 1, so really glad to see all the energy and all the positivity. Really hoping very, very sharp, really good event for everyone.
Yes.
That being said, that's goodbyes from me. If anyone else has any parting words.
Yeah, I really appreciate this once again, and like on the conclusion, I think everybody, Mola, Luna, and Ritesh, and again Ishrak, I really appreciate you guys being here, and really like this is such a thing that really needs to be done. And once again, fair play to everyone, and thank you once again.
Yep. Cheers.
Same here, everyone. Thank you for giving this platform. Really passionate about this game. Even though I'm getting old, I wish I was younger so that I could last for a long time. But very close to retirement. However, I'm loving every bit of it. So thank you for being part, all of you. Thank you for me. Be a part of this. I mean, it's amazing. Look at the cat; it's going crazy.
Love that. Love that.
So thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, it was good talking to you, gentlemen, my fellow gulaggers. We will eventually be sending one or the other to the gulag next week Saturday. So
love that.
Excited. Can't wait.
Yeah, nothing much.
Mola, you hold a button so you can say your buys and then just put us offline.
So, everyone, again, thank you for joining with us. There are so many people who have helped us underneath, unsung heroes. Especially you, need to a lot of credit go for you when it comes to the Pakistan side. And also, I need to mention Ice, from Sri Lanka, who helped with our local segments and the selection side, Master Regiment, and Extra especially. And yeah, a lot of people out there, Indian communities, for connecting the dots with Ritesh and Ashish and all those gentlemen as well. And a great privilege to meet Irtiza as well, thanks to Atta again. So again, thanks to everyone who worked towards this great achievement that we are going to go through soon. I guess we can conclude with it. And so again, everyone, thank you for joining with us. We will be seeing you again next week, Saturday at 7:30. So have a good night.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
This is a time for heroes, a time for legends. History is written by the victors. Let's get to work.